Hi everyone, this is Niki Rowland and I am back with a few more pages for my December album 2019. I was, for day 23, I was really inspired by something I saw on the Ali Edwards group, which was, I think Ali did it in one of her classes, but I've seen lots of other people do it. I haven't actually taken her classes. And I saw that they had cut hexagons and folded them to create a lovely star shape. So I was really inspired by this because I love folded circles. So I thought I would go ahead and do the circles version that I've done many times in the past before as well. I have cut 35 circles and folded every single one over a square to create this lovely effect here. And then I covered my piece of paper in tape and then stuck every single circle to the background. Then I had a bit of an overhang, so I had to chop that off, but otherwise it fitted perfectly widthwise. I used a 1 3/4 inch circle to do this. And then your little square template that goes in the middle just has to fit within the circle, and the four corners of the circle need to be touching, the four corners of the square need to be touching the edge or the perimeter of the circle. So that's literally all you do. It's so easy, so straightforward. I really love this technique. It's something I've done time and time again. So you get these little holes, if you like, where you can put things inside. Number 23 Bramble Fox acrylic is nestled nicely in one of those little diamonds. And then I've also added some trees and stars from the sticker book, just because they're nice and flat and because I wanted small things, because there was quite a lot going on that page already. I'll probably add a photo on top of all those folds, and then I'll probably write my journaling very tiny inside some of the little diamonds. Okay, so moving on to page number 24. I had this really dark background that I really didn't like, so I had to brighten it up a bit, and I decided to add some white. So I started off just with this strip, and I've used a piece of that blue paper from earlier. That's the one we cut out the Winter Wonderland phrase from right at the beginning, and we left this blue frame. Well, I've used that blue frame for various things throughout this album, and this is one of them. So I've cut a strip there which is 6 inches wide, and I've used the border punch, and at this point I figured out that wasn't enough white, so I decided that I needed a lot more white. Basically I've discarded my white strip that I've already done and border punched, and gone for a large piece of cardstock. It's about 7 inches or 6.5, no, 7 inches wide, tall, I think. And then I have border punched across the bottom and added my blue strip on top of that. So that was nice and easy. I also will border punch across the top at some point as well. So here I am adding my little embellishments down the bottom of my number 24 page. So I have got that lovely little house scene journaling card from the cover part sheet. I also wanted to cut out some of these lovely little cars with the trees on top. They're so cute. They're pink and say driving off with a tree on top, which I think is really cute. So I wanted to include one of those. That was just for a spare piece of paper. So I fussy cut one of those out, and I'm just backing my number 24 onto a piece of red paper. Now I think that is the branding strip. It's a dark red paper with dots on. I think it's a branding strip, a little perforated strip, which I didn't get used elsewhere, so it's spare. So I've just yeah, I can see it there. So I've put a strip of it underneath the car to the left of the house scene, and then I've also backed the number 24. I had to go over it twice because the strip wasn't wide enough, so I had to put an extra piece on to cover the gap. But yes, so number 24 is backed on red paper, and you can see that there I've got my middle piece there in white, and then I've border punched both the top and the bottom strips, and at the bottom I've added a blue strip of that paper. Okay, so I am going to stick it onto this green paper, but I thought I'd take the middle out in case I needed some more pattern paper elsewhere in the album. Not that it's my favourite paper, so I might not use it at all, but it's there if I need it. So okay, that's all layered up together now, and I'm just going to mirror the border punch at the bottom of my layout by cutting another blue strip to go at the top. And I've made this one slightly thinner just because I'm worried about the space that I've got left on the white in order to add my photo and my journaling, so that one's quite slim. Okay, so just trimming off any overhangs there to make sure that my pages are truly 6x4, and then getting that piece stuck in place. Now I've just realised I made a mistake because I shouldn't have put adhesive along the top edge of that house, because I'll probably tuck something under there, so that's slightly annoying. I think I realised at some point and tried to prise it off, but it doesn't matter. I'll always be able to lift it up later anyway. So okay, everything's stuck in place, just getting a few snowflakes in. I'm using snowflakes from the sticker book. They're transparent and so pretty, so just adding a few of those, and my number 24 acrylic, just playing around with where it should go. Have this little banner there that says Wonder, which I thought was quite cute and brought in more of the blue colour, so I've just popped that at the top of that little house journaling card there, and now my acrylic can be stuck. There you go. I've now realised that I shouldn't have stuck that. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to take the adhesive off now. I will deal with that later if I need to tuck something under there. And just finishing off with a little holly sticker at the top, with a few berries and some leaves, and at the bottom as well a little spray of flowers down there too. And that one is complete. I have the Twas the Night Before Christmas overlay. That's an Ali Edwards download. I've got that in between these two pages, so literally just printed them on a transparency and punched holes, and it sits in there. And I wanted that one to sit there because it says it was the night before Christmas, and of course day 24 is the night before Christmas, so that's why it needed to go there. Okay, so moving on to day 25, the main event. So it's Christmas Day, hooray! And we are moving on to day 25. I have already got this transparency, which is another one of the Ali Edwards downloads. It's the gold grid one, and I've already cut number 25 out of burgundy cardstock on my silhouette machine, and I've stuck the two to the transparency, so it just kind of sits half and half on there. And I wanted to embellish it slightly because it would be boring without any embellishment whatsoever. So I thought I would stick on some chipboard stickers. So I've got some flowers that are going on there, and then I had the snow globe down at the bottom right, sorry, bottom left, and some flowers as well. And then of course when I looked at the back, you can really see the chipboard backs, and you can also see the tape through the transparency, which is a bit annoying. So I've put some stickers on the back there as well, but I'm still thinking about that one. I might have to do a bit more work on that back part of that transparency and die cut later. Okay, so moving on to 25, I always have a full page photo for day 25 for Christmas Day, and then on the other side I normally just have my journaling. However, I might add some more photos on the right hand side, but we'll see. So I've got my branding strip down the bottom, and it's got a hole in it, so I've covered it up with Let's Stay In, but I've chopped that bottom part off, and then I'm adding my big number 25 Bramble Fox acrylic. So this one is really lovely because it's a slightly different texture acrylic to the normal Bramble Foxes. It's like got a small sparkle sheen in it. It's really, really pretty. You won't be able to see it on camera, but up close it's so lovely. So that little twiddly bit down the bottom left will just go on top of my photo once I have got it. Then I'm cutting a few strips here to go on the right. So with the pattern paper background, it's quite busy, so there's nowhere to add journaling. I can't write on that print. So I needed to add some white areas to write on. So I really loved the strips that I did on day 14, so I thought I would do something similar for today. So I've cut 5 strips, again, I think they're all 1 inch wide, and I've left some at 6 inches, and I've cut some down to like 5.5, I think, and then I've offset them essentially. So they're all stuck down now, and I've just dressed the edges. And then I'm just adding a big title. So get your merry on. I love that phrase. I've seen it lots of places, and I really like that one. So I thought I would put that on for Christmas Day. I have no E's left in my stickers. I've used far too many for various titles. So I'm making them out of F's. I'm using, I think, an X or something to cut up. Maybe it's not an X, I can't remember. But anyway, to get the little bits from, to do the extra bits at the bottom for the E. So capital E's are easy to make, so it's normally quite a straightforward process. So yeah, just had to do 2 of those, both with F's. I think I've now run out of F's. So if I need any more E's, I'm really stuffed. And then I put a full stop because I wanted it to be a bold statement, and I like the look of that. So get your Mary on is in place, and I do just want to add some little embellishments to my Get Your Mary On page as well. I'm just adding a snowflake underneath the O there, and then literally just a few stars and leaving it there. It's just very simple. So I have space at the top to add a photo if I want to, and then I can handwrite my journaling onto the white strips. Okay, so that is those few pages done. So that's page 23 and 24, and then I've done page 25. Also has that transparency, and page 25 again, the other side, Get Your Mary On. Thank you very much for watching. That was Niki Rowland.